Look at this picture. Doesn't that look depressing? You've probably seen it everywhere. Do you see that, patch of grass? Nothing much there. Now, look at these pictures. Do you notice a difference? That's right, green. The color green. Plants, trees, bushes, anything. Vegetation. This is a big issue with urban places in dense cities like New York or Chicago, Philadelphia, but also spread out ones like here in Iowa City or Sioux City or, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Places covered in just concrete and metal and no green in sight. Or if there is green, like plain grass, it'll just be unutilized and sitting plain, just empty space, taking up space. Now for this video, I not only want to focus on adding green spaces, but fixing the green spaces that we already have. These things can include walkways, community gardens, benches, anything. Now, what qualifies as a green space? One of my favorites is the Atlanta Botanical Garden. I've been there a couple times and is gorgeous. Also, the High Line in New York City is a very good example of utilizing empty space that is not used anymore. They converted a old railroad line into a walkable area full of vegetation and activities for people to use every day on their way to work and just to come as a tourist attraction. I'm going to talk about some of the issues that go along with lack of green space, and I'm going to separate it into 3 categories: human impacts, environmental impacts, and economic impacts. Some of the human impacts of green spaces, what I'm going to talk about first: mental health, physical health, and socializing and safety. That goes into one. Plus, an interview with my sibling Eli, who lives in Chicago and talks about their experiences with green space. First of all, what's your name?
Eli.
Where do you live?
Chicago, Illinois.
What area of Chicago do you live in?
Northwest, real right on the corner.
My first question: what green spaces are available in your neighborhood, and how do you usually get there?
There's a small itty bitty playground that's like walking distance from me. It's got like swings and like a little grassy area. Biking distance, there is a big beautiful bike trail that goes on for like 30 plus miles, I think. Also in biking distance, there is a baseball, like public access baseball diamond and a bunch of tennis courts. The Gompers Park is the name of the baseball situation.
When was the last time you were out in nature, and where were you?
I was up at the park right next to me. I had a nice little day taking my cat to the park.
How do you feel after you've been in a park?
I feel like my life is together, like nothing can touch me, and that I am made of sunshine and, dirty fingernails. No, cut that. Being in a city, I think each time I get to be in a green space or like go away to camping or to the country or to, anywhere where there's like a lot of green and a little bit more quiet is very important to me.
How do you think your life would be affected if all of the green spaces around you weren't there anymore?
I think my mental health would be much worse than it currently is, which I think I'm really at my peak of my mental health recently. Thanks to like green spaces and socializing and living in the city, and the socializing, so much of my socializing is at like beaches or parks. We all living in Chicago is so like desolate during the winters and cold and miserable that whenever the summer comes around, people are like, come on, we're cooking out, we're going to a park.
What makes a good green space for you?
A tree, a bench if you have it. Big fan of paved paths for biking and for rollerblading and for people on wheels to share. Having different like sports, like just having infrastructure for different types of outdoor activity that is like it makes you feel like you're working out, but you're also having fun.
Wow, Eli, thank you so much for that interview. That was so exciting and cool. Now let's talk about some more of the reasons why mental health is so affected by green space. Benefits. If you're going out into a park, you're getting better sleep. Just by being outside, getting some sun, some vitamin D, getting some exercise, walking around, witnessing green and being in a natural setting can lower blood pressure, reduce risk of chronic disease, and lower stress. You can also get fresher air, so less risk of cancer and asthma, and you can get some beautiful scenes. Now I want to talk about a study that was done in Wisconsin by the Survey of Health of Wisconsin. It used a cluster sampling approach considering many factors: race, age, gender, economic status, length of residence, as you can see by this chart here, provided by the source. Having 25% or more tree canopy can lead to a lot less depression and anxiety and stress. These are a lot of fancy numbers, but I assure you, that's what that means. Everyone, no matter the factor, can benefit from more exposure to green space, and more green space could combat aspects of social economic disadvantages based on the correlation between unemployment stress and residential segregation stress. Now, I want to talk about safety. One of the biggest reasons that places can stay safe is having more people come to them, whether that be tourism, whether that be residents in the area just coming and enjoying the space. Having more people means it's safer. Unused and unkept parks often attract crime and become unsafe. Attractive parks and green spaces allow for community policing and witnessing in general. This is from an article from Jane Jacobs called "The Uses of Sidewalk Safety" from The Death and Life of Great American Cities, 1961, still prevalent today. Direct quote: "It does not take many incidents of violence on a city street or a city district to make people fear the streets, and as they fear them, they use them less, which makes the streets still more unsafe." Now I want to talk about some of the environmental factors of green space. Those include air quality, water quality, and I want to talk about some of the biodiversity benefits. First, I want to talk about air quality. Urban areas suffer from high quantities of particulate matter, aka PM10. Particulate matter can increase risk of cardiovascular and respiratory diseases. A study researched the correlation between green space percentage and PM10 data across 8 cities over 20 years. Results showed higher concentration of PM10 in industrial areas and less in roadside areas and even less in parks. Some of the reasons this may be: tree leaves and grass can trap particulate matter, dust, soot, smoke, in a process called deposition. Also, we all know this, trees produce oxygen, so go outside. Trees are going to be letting you breathe. Trees and plants and vegetation also cool the environment, providing shade, and use a process called evapotranspiration. Evapotranspiration. Basically, when the trees and the plants and the grass sweat. So when their moisture in the hotter weather gets evaporated, it can go into the air and create a more humid air, which helps slow the formation of ground level ozone and reduces smog. Some of the reasons that we like biodiversity is because, this can just have a better place for animals and bugs to be and exist and to be more balanced in an environment. And that might sound bad to some people. However, it's good, and I'm going to explain why. Having more biodiversity also leads to a healthier soil through nutrient recycling, which is, a nice balanced ecosystem, animals and plants eating each other, dying, pooping, that kind of stuff, going back into the soil and creating a nice, rich soil without having to use fertilizers. So it's Earth's natural fertilizer. Biodiversity also helps with plant diseases and helps the trees and plants become healthier. And having healthier means safer people. Oftentimes, trees, if they're unhealthy, can rot in the middle of them and then eventually have to be cut down, or having branches fall on people's houses, and we don't want that. We want nice healthy trees that provide shade, cool the earth, cool us, make us feel happy, and all that good stuff. Having a nice planted area with lots of trees and soil and grass can also help mitigate water pollution. Having a nice rich soil and a nice soiled area in general can stop stormwater runoff from, falling down concrete and picking up sediment and pollutants and heavy metals and dirt and debris and trash and other pollutants like that. And also it can help puddling. Some of the economic benefits of green space is having green space outside of a property can increase property value. Very nice green spaces for people to go and enjoy can also be a benefit for tourism. Now, having even just better human health in general is much better for the economy, so we can have more willing and able-bodied working people. Having less pollution means that we don't have to spend so much money trying to fix the pollution. We can instead just enjoy what we're doing and put our money elsewhere. I want to talk about some examples of solutions for what we can do to add more green spaces, and I want to talk about an example of Sioux City doing that very thing. Community gardens. This is a big one. It can mean access to more affordable and sometimes even free food. It also can create a hobby for a lot of people, which again can benefit mental health in general. And it mitigates the reliability on large-scale farming, which is a really big bad impact on the environment, which I could go on a whole nother video talking about that. But we're gonna stick to this for now. These community gardens can be placed in schools, healthcare facilities, housing complexes, and even parks. This can also help for just healthier people in general, eating more fruits and vegetables. Really good for you kids, really good for you. Eat your fruits and veggies. Now I want to talk about some efforts going on in Sioux City in 2016. I think they're still working on this. According to this report and this comprehensive plan that they had, downtown Sioux City suffers from a lack of green space, also suffers from the urban heat island effect, which is a city having, little to no green space, having lots of metal concrete, just heating up and heating up like a little oven. This is their downtown green space plan. The goals are to reduce stormwater runoff by soil absorbing the water and reducing the city's heat, which we learned about earlier. Now, a big issue in Sioux City is the stormwater runoff, which in downtown Sioux City is kind of at the bottom of a hill. All the water from those elevated areas will just drain right into downtown. It will just puddle and flood when really bad rain comes. Anyway, moral of the story is we like green. We like trees. We like having that in our spaces and in our cities, and go out, enjoy a park. Go take your cat outside. Go rub your toes in the grass. I don't know. Don't go eat some leaves or something.
What are you doing to him?
He's flexible. He's Spider-Man. He's got to be able to do this.